Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Jake Gordon and Alex Lord. Chipper Jones apparently has a lot to say. He's been on the radio. He was recently on 680 The Fan, and he was talking about Ronald Acuña, who is well on his way to the 2023 NL MVP. And he said Ronald legit might be the most talented player to ever play for the Atlanta Braves. And he also said he legitimately thinks he will challenge 50-50 someday. He said someday. I'm thinking today. Like he said, he could do that this year. And if he's not challenging 50-50, he's challenging 40-60 because I think he could get 50-60 stolen bases easy. It's really just how many home runs can he get?
Yeah. I honestly, I got to agree with Chipper here when you think about it. When you talk about most talented, that doesn't mean best. That doesn't mean greatest. You look at him, he was a fantastic switch hitter. That obviously takes a lot of talent to hit 300 from both sides of the plate. He's probably being a little modest there. But even like Freddie's probably one of the greatest players in franchises. Just talking position players, I'm not even going to get into pitchers. But not exactly an athletic marvel. He was just a really good hitter. Ronald just does everything. I mean, he's got a cannon of an arm, steals bases. He's a true five-tool player. So I don't think those remarks are too off base. Obviously, you look at like Hank Aaron and Andrew and all those other guys. But out of just pure talent, not best hitter, not best player, just pure talent, it might be it.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to think about. He's basically doing this all as like a fresh-faced 21-year-old. I mean, he entered the league at 20 years old. This guy's just been getting away on raw talent. Now he's starting to learn the nuances of the game, becoming a better hitter, when to give it all out, when to reserve some in the tank. I saw somebody say something about how, I don't know who it was, one of the Braves coaches was saying, hey, Ronald, save some in the tank. This is a long season, and that's why his steals may have come down a little bit. But even still, I mean, once this guy figures it out between the ears, and he doesn't even really have to, that's how talented he is. His physical, every single person talks about it, like Freddie Freeman, Brian Sicko. They've been around the game for a long time. Sticker's been around it since what? The turn of the century, 1900s. This guy's old as dirt. And
he's been around for like 60 years.
He says this is the most talented kid I've ever seen. And like the only thing that can hold him back is himself. So, I mean,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the only player in Braves franchise history off the top of my head, position players only, that will go down potentially as better than Ronald Acuña when his career is done is Hank Aaron. And that's obviously because Hank did a lot of things, one of the greatest hitters of all time, the true home run king, all of that. Ronald Acuña is going to go down, if he stays healthy, better than Chipper Jones, better than Freddie Freeman, better than any player that has ever worn the Braves uniform because he's that good. He is that good. I mean, when you look at the things that he's on pace to do, and at 25 years old, off of an ACL injury, really, this is the first time we've seen him healthy in 2 years. And you talk about he's been going off raw talent. I completely agree with that. I think he's found something this year, and every year he's gotten better at not striking out as much and taking his walks as much. And now he just realizes, hey, I can steal, especially with the new rules. I can steal a base every time I get on base. I mean, he barely gets caught stealing with the new rules. And it's like, I'll just take my walk, and it's basically a double every time. And if a double is a triple and a single is a double, and it's every time he gets on base, they can't stop him from stealing. And I think that's allowed him to almost be more patient because it's like, I can impact the game in so many more ways now with the new rules. And obviously you can't talk about the new rules with the old generation, but whatever. We can only go off what we can go with. And when you talk about pure talent, I watched Chipper Jones his whole career. I have never watched a player as good as Ronald Acuña, and I think he will even admit he's a much better player. Like Ronald Acuña is going to win the MVP this year if he stays healthy at 25. Like Chipper won one MVP. Like Ronald Acuña, if he stays healthy, is going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's going to win multiple MVPs. I mean, we're talking about 3, 4, 5. Like, who is going to stop him if he stays healthy? Because he is the runaway favorite, and he's not slowing down. Like, we're almost 2 months into the season. Like, we can talk about, oh, he could slow down. No, he's not. Like he is going to hit over 300 with close to 40 homers, if not more than 40 homers, and steal 60 bases as a 25-year-old coming off an ACL injury. And there's no reason to think he can't get better. It's like we are watching something history in the making, and we are watching one of the best players of all time. The only thing that can stop Ronald Acuña from not being a top 3 position player of all time in Braves history is injury. There's nothing else that can stop him.
Yeah, I think you said it best. Once he, like I just said, once he learns, his head catches up with his body, he's going to be a dangerous player, and he's learning from the best. I mean, Chipper Jones is arguably one of the greatest hitters in MLB history, so he's got a great teacher right there.
Greatest pure hitter like that I've seen in my lifetime out, like just a pure hitter. I mean, 303 average career. Like the guy just knows how to get on base, and it was so fluid. It was so perfect. Like his approach was beautiful. But I really think like Ronald Acuña is on a level where it's just such a blessing to watch him every day. That's all I can really say about it. But coming up after the break, Georgia and Florida had a big news break about their upcoming series and where it will be played.